Alright, in today's video, I'm going to go over some just real quick tips on how to jack up your Genesis G70. This could also apply to the Kia Stinger since they're very similar, it's just longer. The reason I'm making this video is I was looking on the Genesis forums, which are not that great, by the way. No one seemed to really quite understand the right places to jack up the car, and I looked for some videos. I didn't find any videos on it. So the first thing is first, and this is a unibody car, so your strongest points are going to be your pinch welds, which is where if you go to a shop where you can use those lifts, the lifts go on the pinch welds. I've seen people, they're jacking these cars up by the rear differential. It's not designed for that. It's not a solder axle like a truck. It's a fully independent rear suspension. There's bushings associated with that differential. Absolutely should not be using a differential as a jack point. People jacking up on their, control arms and stuff. I don't think you really want to be putting weight on your control arms. Once again, there are bushings associated with that. You could, potentially put your car out of alignment. So you want to use your pinch weld. So let's get straight to that. Obviously, you're going to need a jack, and I will try to put this in the description if I can find it. I've had it for a really long time, but I highly recommend one of these. It's basically a rubber puck, almost like a hockey puck. It just has a V cut in it for your pinch welds. This helps you, prevents you from bending the pinch weld. If you do bend the pinch weld, it's not going to damage the car or anything like that. It just, can kind of look bad, and it doesn't make it quite as easy to lift. But I will try to put this in the description because this just goes on top of your jack. Now, my jack has a fairly large head on it, so it makes the problem not as bad, but especially your jacks that have small heads and have the small points on them, they can really kind of push up on a pinch weld and kind of deform it, and we obviously don't want to do that. So I want to push the jack underneath the car, and I'm going to kind of show you my opinion on where to lift the car at. Alright, see, we got our pinch weld right here. As you can see, that's our jack stand, and that's our jack. So I got the rubber puck on the actual pinch weld itself. Don't worry about the side skirt. Make sure this jack puck is in that pinch weld V right there. This is going to push up a little bit, pinch on the side skirt. It's not going to damage anything. All your weight is on that pinch weld. Now, I like to put it on a little towards the back here because the strongest point of this pinch weld is where this folds at. Kind of like a V, has a notch in it. That's the strongest point. And what you don't want to do, you also don't want to put your jack stand at the very end. If you put your jack stand at the very end here, say you're doing suspension work, you're hammering and you're hitting on things, you can shift the weight of the car and the car is just going to fall off. So you definitely want some leeway on your jack stand. Of course, make sure it's nice and secure before you move on to the next part. So let me show you on the back, the same thing. Alright, so we're at the back of the car now. Same thing. You got this fold area, you got this little notch. That's your strongest area of the pinch weld. Now you could put your jack back on this side and move your jack stand. My jack, unfortunately, my jack has these little handles to carry the weight, and that kind of distances how far I have to have the jack between the jack stand. I would have them closer, but I just have to have that distance because of that. Yeah, that's where you want to lower the car slowly on the jack stands on that V, and say I have the jack on in the groove here and that V on here, and it's maybe pushing just a little bit on the side skirt, but it's not going to hurt anything because all that weight is on that pinch weld. And the reason why that's why this puck comes in handy, because it keeps all that weight in that groove. Wish the camera would stay focused. Yeah, that's basically all there is to it for your G70, your Kia Stinger. Lift on your pinch welds. And one of the things that could be beneficial, I have never done for any car I've had, they do make little rubber pads you can put inside of your jack stand to help take some of that weight, distribute that weight a little better, and less likely to, if you drop the car too fast, prevent from deforming that pinch weld a little bit. But this is where you want to lift the car, make sure it's secure, it's perfectly safe. This is a strong point. You're not going to mess up your suspension. You're not going to tear any bushings. You're not going to damage your differential. This is how you do it. All right. If you got any questions, just leave a comment, and I'll try to get back to you. That's a quick video. Y'all have a good day.